Welcome back to the channel. Today we are deconstructing the rumors, the leaks, and the absolute chaos surrounding Apple's upcoming special experience. And yes, notice I said experience, not event. That is clue number one. See, usually Apple demands the world comes to them, but this time, they are decentralizing. New York City, London, Shanghai, simultaneous launches at 9 a.m. Eastern. This isn't just a logistical change, it's a psychological one. It tells us that what they are about to launch needs to be touched, held, and seen in person to be believed. You can't just watch a live stream of this one. But enough about the invite, let's talk about the hardware, because if the leaks are true, we are looking at the most aggressive product lineup in a decade. First up, and this is the big one, Project J700. For years, if you wanted a cheap laptop for school or basic work, you bought a Chromebook. Or maybe a chunky Windows machine that sounded like a jet engine when you opened Chrome tabs. Apple is apparently sick of losing that money. The rumors point to a new, low-cost MacBook. But here is the twist. It might not have an M-series chip inside. I know sounds crazy, right? But hear me out. The leaks suggest this machine is powered by the A18 Pro. Yes, the chip from the iPhone 16 Pro. Now, before you rage in the comments, think about the math. The A18 Pro is a beast. It benchmarks higher than the original M1 chip in single-core tasks. By using a phone chip, Apple saves a fortune on manufacturing. And the result? A laptop that runs macOS, has a retina-class screen, and battery life that could honestly last 20 hours, all for a rumored price of around $600. And it's not going to be plastic. They've reportedly developed a forged aluminum process. Instead of carving the laptop out of a block of metal, which wastes a ton of material, they stamp it into shape like a car part. This keeps it feeling premium and cold to the touch, but makes it way cheaper to build. Plus, it allows for those vibrant colors we saw in the invite gradient. Yellows, pinks, blues, it's a total callback to the old iBook G3 clamshells. It's nostalgia bait, and I am absolutely falling for it. But the laptop is just one side of the coin. Let's talk about the pocket computer. The iPhone 17e. This phone is designed to do one thing: kill the mid-range Android market. The leaks here are fascinating. We're looking at a device that finally kills the notch. Dynamic island for everyone. It's also expected to have MagSafe, which is huge because previous budget iPhones didn't have the magnets, just the wireless charging. Apple wants you buying those $20 wallets and battery packs, obviously. Under the hood, it gets a little nerdy. Reports say it's running a binned A19 chip. Basically, these are chips that weren't quite perfect enough for the Pro phones, so rather than throwing them away, Apple slows them down a tiny bit and puts them here. It's recycling, but profitable. But the headline spec? 10 gigabytes of RAM. Why 10? Why such a weird number? 2 words: Apple Intelligence. Local AI models eat RAM for breakfast. By bumping the base model to 10 gigs, Apple is future-proofing this cheap phone to run the new Siri features. And one more thing on the phone, the modem. This might be the debut of the C1X, Apple's homemade 5G modem. They spent billions buying Intel's modem division years ago, and it's been a nightmare for them. But if this chip is ready, it could offer insane power efficiency. It might not be as fast as the top-tier Qualcomm chips in peak speed, but if it gives you an extra hour of battery life, I think most normal people would take that trade. Okay, so that's the cheap stuff. What about the power users? The people who actually pay for the lights at Apple Park. Enter the M5 Pro and M5 Max. This is where the engineering gets wild. We are moving away from monolithic chips. In the past, the CPU and GPU were all printed on one big piece of silicon. If one part was broken, the whole chip was trash. The M5 is rumored to use something called SoICMH packaging. Fancy acronym, I know. But imagine it like Legos. They can build the CPU tile and the GPU tile separately, and then stack them or stitch them together. This helps with heat, which is the enemy of performance, and it helps with cost. Expect a 45% jump in GPU performance. This isn't a laptop anymore, it's a mobile workstation designed to run massive local LLMs. If you're a video editor or a coder, your wallet is about to start crying. But it's not all sunshine and rainbows. We have to talk about the elephant in the room, the software. You're going to buy this shiny new hardware, but the brain that runs it might be delayed. The integration of Google's Gemini into Siri, codenamed Linwood, is reportedly a mess. Internal tests show it's hallucinating. You know, like when you ask AI, "Where's my dinner reservation?" and it confidently tells you you're eating at a restaurant that closed 3 years ago? Yeah, that. It looks like the big AI features are pushed back to iOS 26.5 or even iOS 27. So, Apple is in a weird spot. They are selling you AI hardware on March 4th, but the AI software is basically an IOU note in the box. So, what is the takeaway here? What is the strategy? It's a pincer movement, a military tactic on the bottom end. They are creating a $1,300 bundle. For the price of one high-end Windows laptop, a student can get a metal MacBook and a modern iPhone. That is a terrifying proposition for Google and Microsoft. It locks people into the ecosystem young, and they never leave. And on the high end, the M5 proves they still have the best silicon on the planet, keeping the pros happy. March 4th, New York, London, Shanghai. It's going to be a lot of buzzwords, a lot of color gradients, and probably a lot of talk about forged aluminum. But what do you guys think? Would you buy a MacBook with a phone chip inside if it only costs $600? Or is the lack of a 120Hz screen on the iPhone 17e a deal breaker? Let me know in the comments down below. I read all of them. Don't forget to hit that like button if you want me to cover the event live. Catch you in the next one.